Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Islands of Insight. So you can see some flashing happening in the pause menu here. That's because I'm standing right in between the camera and a waterfall. We did find one mystery without cheating, and we solved in the last episode a couple of questions, certainly as far as does doing all the trials do anything? Does doing the all-seeing monolith do anything? Unfortunately, the answer to both of those questions is no. So these side quests just give you mirabilises that then just lead you to more clues towards mysteries, which is, I guess, what we're trying to do. So the next step here is to just fly towards Autumn Falls and do the trials in Autumn Falls, and we'll do the all-seeing monolith in Autumn Falls, and we're also just looking for lore fragments, although it does seem to me like there's a possibility that there are about 4 lore fragments in every area that are going to be locked behind something. Not 100% sure what that something is, but obviously it's something. So let's see, that's 800 meters, that is 300 meters. Meanwhile, we only came to this 5th area because we thought that there might be a mystery solution, looking for a precipice, which I would imagine is defined as the edge of a place where you could fall off, like this, where 2 waterfalls touch each other and kiss, is what it says. And generally I am just trying to avoid anything that is a logic puzzle. I'm trying to collect any lore. When stars collapse, time holds its breath. So it said it was at the precipice where 2 waterfalls kiss. I guess technically this is 2 waterfalls kissing. And then there was supposed to be a object that was familiar. Which I have kind of wonder if the object that would be familiar would not be an object that is familiar specifically in this world, but would be familiar to the player themselves, something like a cell phone shape or something. But yeah, it was like an object that's familiar that then explains itself. Monolith fragments. Not bad to get while we're here too. Sounds like there might be a invisible cube somewhere. See, the thing about this, though, is since this one isn't telling us to go to a logic grid to solve the mystery, then it is just one of these that is instead going to tell me to it's probably going to tell me to just look in a certain direction and click on something. Again, this feels like this is the mystery, but I don't see an object on the precipice at the top here. I don't think I'm supposed to work my way up here, but I suppose it's worth trying. Interesting. So the all-seeing monolith there can be dragged like a matchbox. And that means I am going to have to find a way to click on all of those and match them, I think, to probably wherever the all-seeing monolith here is. But it seems to me like you've got to finish all the all-seeing monoliths first before you can do that. I kind of question just how many of these perception puzzles there actually are. Whether there's two or whether there's just one. Suppose there's several options here that could be this. Okay. Two, one, 2, 1. I am confused. So maybe it's just that. Yeah. And we'll fly off, I guess, in this general direction. Familiar object. We still haven't really tried to see if we can fly all the way up to the top of those. We know there's something here that needs to be matched, however. And so I imagine this is... I bet there's not any sneaky thing over here. Although at some point the puzzle may just load into that area. Later. To see this angled correctly, maybe crouching down. I think you probably have to be over on that pillar to see it. It's the only thing that makes sense. And as I was flying up here, I found another part of the monolith. Alright, let's go to this aura. That aura, I suspect, is a piece of the tree here matching with it. But I'm not really sure where the tree is supposed to line up here. Yeah, I just don't know if this control's still pretty awful. I should just be looking at the brightness level. Yeah, I'm just not sure if that would be an Area 3 solution or an Area 5 solution. Maybe this isn't where two waterfalls kiss. That is also a possibility. This could be where two waterfalls mix. Which I think that probably does also indicate how these hints could go anywhere. I have no idea how you're supposed to do this. It's like not flying at all. It's jump, land on that with a double jump apparently, and then double and triple jump in circles. Yeah, that seems more difficult than any of them really should be. That too doesn't lead to anything. So down we go again. Let's see if we find anything behind the waterfall. No. I think I have already solved this one. I haven't. I don't think. But I guess I have. Must have just walked around this area at some point and solved it. And is this technically two waterfalls kissing where they're split by a rock? I would say probably not, because almost all the waterfalls have that element to them, or a lot of them do at least. Well, we are slowly increasing our familiarity with the whole area. I think there is arguably a point here where then just keep on spinning that around. There's a point here where we should probably just walk through the ravine of this land from one end all the way to the next end. It'll give us a lot of opportunities to solve things. It will let us see things from a lower perspective. Yep. Okay, so I can already tell that is wrong. May have tried this one before. So if this was going to work, it would have to go not there. It would have to go here, start there, work its way up there. Okay. So you fall here, you spin there. Spin there. It has to end there. So it has to start here, go this way, hit that, and then that. And the fact that we saw one of these solved before and it hasn't been replaced does give me some slight hope that those may just be permanent. Whereas sky drops, we know, aren't permanent, and I think most of the puzzles are probably not permanent. But I also don't want to just run around solving puzzles. We had specific goals here to find trials. So that's what we were coming to do. All dark regions have 4s, and we inherently have some puzzles here that we're going to solve. All dark regions again have four. Doesn't mean light regions have to be connected, though. Let's see. So the last bit of trick here is really just figuring out where we can have 4 dark regions. Now all dark regions have 3. Okay. Two, four, 6. Does that. Does that. There is a real problem always with all dark regions have areas of 4. We need to connect all dark regions. With doing puzzle games in general, there's just that high chance of running out of things to say pretty quickly. And either way I go here on this allows for what I'm looking for, so is there a possibility here of hitting a 4? Oh, that's gotta be dark, which means that can't connect, which means that has to go that way, which means that has to go that way, which means that has to be that. Making that more difficult. Yeah, in puzzle games, there's just always a high possibility you're going to run out of things to say. There's only so many ways you can say, alright, that was a good puzzle, or that was a bad pit puzzle. All light regions have a region of 4. Okay. So then... This is just going to keep causing problems. And unfortunately, these puzzles don't end up really doing anything. They're not teaching me anything new. So I guess that and that have to be separated. Which then means that has to be connected. And that has to be connected. I don't know if that inherently means this has to be connected. That has to be there, that has to be there. So then we know that can't be connected. And we know this can't be connected. So it has to go there. Forcing that into that spot. Forcing that into that spot. Forcing that into that spot, and that spot. And then that spot. And that spot. And then that spot. And then that spot. Yeah. 5 and 5. Which makes that spot. Which then clears all of that. Makes that. And I think we've done everything over there. Is that one short? Yes, it is. Is that one short? Yes, it is. Okay, so what's the next thing here? If this was black hair, then I have not really a good way of making a 5 there. Could do that. I guess that's what it needed to happen. All dark regions have an area of 3. Okay. And we can't make certain shapes. Okay. Which means that has to go here, which means that has to go there. Which means it has to go there, which means it has to go there. All of these are going to be straight lines. Yeah. Which then begs the question, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't make that shape. Can't do it that way. So I have to go that direction. Have to go that direction. All light areas have an area of 6. Okay. So just doing that to start with might solve a lot. 2, 4, 6. Then we have 5 here. 6, 2, 4. So we are exactly 1 short. Which we can just adjust for. So that's another trial area in area 3, done. And the move, I guess, is to maintain momentum here. There's 2 more trials. One is the quest for perfection, which is here. And then the other would be cross the streams, which is there. Okay. And we could be looking at the all-seeing monolith here also. That would be helpful. Might as well do that while we're also here. And nothing is going to really stop me from spending way too much time doing sky drops. I think I saw a green one here. There we go. That is pointing there to the all-seeing monolith, which was also pointing over here. I think. Might be better to do the enclaves first. That way I can remove them from the map. While we're here, let's also see if we can finish that. If we can get the daily quest done, that would be nice. We still have the teleport ability that we would like to got lucky there. Yep, I'd like to unlock the teleport ability. After that, getting sparks really is just going to be for purchasing customization. which, yeah, I don't think that's really worth. This is an area that has a bunch of hidden cubes, but I've already, I think, done. I mean, this isn't the location we're going to. We're going further. It is weird that I don't see the all-seeing monolith. I still don't really get the whole idea of daily quests around all this. Like, whether you make this an MMO or not, whether you've got people playing with each other solving these puzzles, I just don't see how this game has any lasting potential at all. I feel like you're going to play the game in a burst, like most games, and then you're going to probably lose interest and just stop playing. Yeah, when you compare this type of game to, say, something like Hearthstone or Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or any of those collectible card games, Magic the Gathering might be a very good comparison, considering how Magic the Gathering cycles out cards from being like tournament legal very quickly. All of those games, CCGs, are built around a very high level of, this almost certainly I think is related to some mystery. But yeah, all those games are built around the high level of adding new content all the time, or fairly consistently. They aren't... While Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, based off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, is like 25 years old, so it probably did have close to 10,000 cards in it when it first launched a couple of years ago. The main draw isn't going to be the old cards, the main draw is going to be the new cards being added fairly consistently. And it is an interesting comparison you kind of need to make to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is a game I covered a while ago, and so I don't remember it greatly. My main complaint about that game is it was extremely pretty, but barely had any gameplay in it. And yeah, it had just maybe, I'll be generous and say, a dozen puzzles in all of Hellblade, and then a story that it is just kind of constantly telling, even though I'm not sure it was really the greatest of stories even. And then very, very pretty graphics. Where you compare this game, and it is certainly trying to do very pretty graphics. I can't deny that. But it just doesn't have a character like Senua, who is anything, like being a seeker and being able to customize your character. Totally breaks telling any kind of story like Hellblade did. I can definitely say the reception is better for Hellblade. Of course, Microsoft promoting and publishing Hellblade certainly helped, I'm sure. But a smaller game as a concept, fewer puzzles, looking very pretty, I think is easier to sell than here's 10,000 puzzles, 10,000 plus puzzles, which I cannot overstress how insane that is to say, how overwhelming it all is. Okay. So, you know that is true. You know this much is true. Okay. We know that much is true. We know that much is true. Then we know that much is true. Okay. I think I can just go ahead and do that. And that says that's disconnected, and that says that's disconnected. That. Now don't make 4 in a row. Okay. Of either black or white. You know that's gotta be white. And then we know that has to be black. And that has to be black. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Then go ahead and put a black there. Put a black there. Put a black there. This black has to go here, which makes that white. Which then has to go here. Which then can't go here, which makes that white. Which has to go here. That's white. And then that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I suspect that's true. That then pushes us back this way. That has to be that. So then this has to connect here, which makes that white, which makes that black. And a couple different options here, it feels like. If I go 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here, then that it would touch. So it has to be this way. There we go. This time letters just have to connect. Okay. that seems kind of easy. So I would have to assume there must be something more to it than meets the eye. Again, letters just have to connect here. Well, we know that doesn't connect, and that doesn't connect, and that doesn't connect. Then that has to connect. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want this to connect. That can't connect, that can't connect, that can't connect. So do we want B to come all the way down here? C has to also connect. Ooh. So C can't, as black things come down here, C has to come through here. Which makes this part D come here. I think pretty much has to do something like that. Whoops. 2 mistakes now by accident. And that's going to be really annoying if you mess up all this. All dark regions have an area of 1. Okay. Well, C has to go somewhere. E doesn't have to go anywhere, and D doesn't have to go anywhere, so does B go anywhere? No, it feels like there could be multiple solutions then with all of that. Well, this would connect to E now, so that has to go to dark. That has to connect there. That has to be that way. That has to be that way. E can't touch C, so that has to go that way. Pushing that further, marking that, marking that. Separating that out, and separating that out. So all of this is C, which means that has to be blocked. That has to be blocked. And hopefully I haven't made a mistake here, so that C then crosses to that. Now do I get less sparks because I didn't do the quest perfection perfectly. Very possibly. But that won't mean I get less merit blisses. There's not a lot of these in the game, unfortunately. I kind of like these, but I also fully understand why there just wouldn't be a lot of them. Where are you hiding? Little hidden cubes. I hear you. I'm not hearing them now. Tend to either be hidden in the crevices Am I just hearing that? And is that the same sound effect? Gets quieter. The sentinel stones despawned, it says. We've seen it say that once before. And I take that to mean that more sentinel stones are spawning in to replace them. Okay. Next location is way over here. Is that the one? Yep. This is kind of quite a large gap. I don't think the game really gives us the best opportunities to cross that gap. Guess we take the flying rings. See if we can maybe find where the green is. Kind of feels like it could be very far away in this area. That this might very well be. I think this is an area with a mystery in it. I just don't know exactly where. I also wouldn't be surprised if there's even more to it than all of that. And with the shrinking bubble on the pin tabs, do more as far as looking. Shrinking bubble. Where is that last one hidden? Let's see. Went too far. We've got to get that to line up. Alright, well that gave me enough height, at least. Enough height to reach an area. Ledges there, not wide enough to land on. And I'm just not interested in doing the scenic ones. My familiarity with the area being slightly increased, hopefully, by the time we run around and do all of the other things, would make scenic puzzles easier to solve. But also, if I do any of it. And that's just a terrible situation to be in any game, is when you're just questioning why are you even spending any time playing the game. It doesn't really serve enough of a purpose to continue to run around and solve puzzles. You compare this to something like Breath of the Wild. There's big open worlds, yes, where you can goof around and do a bunch of stuff, but there is also a looming central threat of Ganondorf that is always in the center of the world, that you are constantly reminded that you should at some point go and defeat him, and you have a... That's an interesting shape. That seems new. You have the 4 Divine Beast dungeons that you're supposed to do as your sub challenge. This game doesn't quite have that. It has enclaves, which you might consider dungeons, but they have no uniqueness like dungeons would in a Zelda game. They are just, at best, a sub-selection of puzzles, where the overworlds are much more just random layouts of all the puzzle types. You do have to do the enclaves first before many of the puzzle types are unlocked. So there is a little bit of order in which you have to play. But not much. That's an interesting example there of how it looked like it matched on the sky drop, but actually I had to get really far away from where I was. Across the streams. Stepping stones. Now it actually might be helpful to just walk around this area and make sure there aren't any invisible cubes because that'd be distracting. Okay, don't make that pattern and sort everything. All dark regions have a region of 1. Okay, that alone is going to lean into telling us exactly what we can and can't do. So that has to be dark, that has to be light, then that has to be dark, that could be light, that has to be dark, that has to be dark, then that has to be light. Let's see. If I put a light one here, that's fine. Put a light one here, that's fine. If I put a light one here, that's not fine. If I put a light one here, that's fine. Put a light one here, that's not fine. And I guess we can just brute force this. Interesting. We'll just want to make short work of this. All dark regions have a region of 2 now. We can only make certain patterns. Okay. So this can't be dark and this can't be dark, so that has to be light. This making that dark, making that light, making that dark, doing that. Okay. Making that light, making that dark, doing that in that section, making that dark and making that light to prevent doing that shape, making that dark, doing that. Well, if I did 2 dark here, then a dark here, and a dark here, that feels right. Honestly, I guess that was right. Don't make this pattern connect all light. And now all darks have a group of 3, which does work. This can't go that way, so it's got to either go here or here. And since light all has to connect, it kind of has to go there. Doing that. Making that have to connect. Doing that. Making that connect. That is wrong. Which makes that wrong. That is wrong. I'm confused. That was wrong. I don't want to waste all my foresights though, so it'd be nicer if we could pull the rest of this off. If that doesn't connect there, I have no idea. What in the world am I supposed to be doing? Another great example of just being one away and it's still not making any sense. Regions of 4 of dark, every light connects. Okay. Let's see. So if I did that and did that, that would work. Problem, I guess, is going to come into play. We have to connect things, isn't it? Hmm. So this is blocked off. Hmm. Hmm. And that's blocked off. Hmm. How can that be? That can't really be. Hmm. We have some high level difficulty here. All dark areas have an area of 11. Interesting. And don't make this pattern and connect all dark cells. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is 6. That would give me 12. So slightly less than 2 whole rows. And we can't really do 2 whole rows anyways, because we have to connect all the whites. Which, as far as it goes, you have this locked here. So my assumption would be something like that, going this way to that. Now we connect all the whites. Start with 4, 8, 12. We've got to block a side off now. This is blocked off, which means this has to be 12. See, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That much would be 12. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We only have to connect all the light sections, but this is going to, there's So it has to connect to this, I think, at this point. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's too many. Unless that's the solution. And if that's the solution, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hmm. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so now we cross the streams and go the other way, which all dark regions have a region of 1. Is that what that says? I hope that is correct. Yep. We can test that pretty quickly. All connected regions, all light regions are connected, so we know that much goes there. And then kind of just can do this and this, and we will simply make patterns. Wherever we can, I guess. All light regions have to be connected though. I suspect this mostly boils down to making zigzag patterns like this. Yeah, I think I pretty much have seen zigzag patterns like this before. I kind of question how authentic a lot of this is, or as far as is it just repeating content? We have to connect all light cells, which means that has to connect there. Means that has to go here. Yeah. All dark regions have a region of 2. All light regions have to connect. see. We'll see where we're wrong with the foresights. How many more of these do we have to do? Guess 3 more is the goal, and it doesn't seem like there's a bonus goal. So this is the next one. All dark regions again have a region of 1. We again are connecting all light regions. Honestly, I don't see how it isn't just easier to do this. Come on, what's the last trick here? Yeah, I don't see how that is wrong. That is wrong. Interesting. That is wrong. What's the next step on all of this? That is wrong. That is wrong. Just feel like we're really far from the correct solution here. Obviously I'm wrong about that also. So all dark regions have a region of 2. Okay. That will actually fill in quite a lot of this. Yeah. Okay. And I guess the question here then is, we know that has to go one way or the other. And we kind of think I would guess that needs to go that way. Then that also connects to that. Then... okay. I can't do that. I can't do that. So what can it do? It has to do that. One more puzzle in this area. Go ahead and move that away. And then every area has to equal 3, it says. And I suppose that could connect here as such, but I don't see a reason why you'd want it to do that. I think that is much better. Okay. Okay. So inherently, you're going to have to fiddle with it to fill in 3. That's the trick, as far as I can tell. If that touches that, then that can't touch that. That can't touch that. There we go. So that's cross the streams done. And there is no extra section on this. But I do think it is worth looking. First of all, we can collect this. Echo of Time. This menu system's still a mess. There's a Pillar of Insight still in this area too, but I feel like there was a mystery that said something about cross the streams. Let's see. Go with the flow. Nope. We'll just go through them all and look real quick. Yeah, I have no idea what that one is. Yeah, I think this almost certainly is one, but I couldn't find it. That one says upstream. Off the edge. Seek a puzzle that stands on the crumbling foundation beyond the broken ring, where a river forks at the edge of the world. You must solve the grid while ignoring both rules. Obviously, we don't need to look at the ones that already have check marks on them. Okay. Well, the good news is the all-seeing monolith quest I think I can do as far as a mystery, so that will at least get us into one area. Already found. I'm looking down here for a red matchbox instead of looking up for a skybox, a sky drop. Which, yeah, there aren't enough sky drops around here. That is a weird statement to certainly make, to say there aren't enough sky drops in this area. Okay. So the all-seeing monolith shows one there and one vaguely in that direction and one in the other direction, so let's go this way first. While we're here, we'll look at all the waterfalls and see if we see anything. So apparently it is very close to where we were. Which is believable because it does seem like wherever you go, if something big is happening, if there's anything in an area, there's a decent chance that a monolith cube would also be in that area. Although I heavily do suspect that it's gotta be in direct view. Yeah, I don't see how I'd hit that one. It's a tough angle. All that spinning going on. These would have to line up pretty perfectly. pagodas didn't evolve into being anything particularly unique. Just nice, I guess, rectangular buildings that allow you to hide things around corners. That'd be my guess as to their main design concept. Okay, where was the red one now? No. So you have to be high enough that you can hit that. I don't think I'd ever actively want to do these chase orb ones. Okay. All-seeing monolith, where are you? It seems to be pointing at one that is going down that way. So we'll go investigate this direction. The all-seeing monoliths are actually way easier than I thought they were. I thought it was pointing at ones that it had already found. Now it's pointing at the ones to find. So really, I probably didn't play correctly in retrospect. I probably should have done the all-seeing monolith as a way of guiding myself to where I needed to be. It's been a really long time since there's ever been real penalties for falling in video games. This game is so passive, though. Could almost see an argument for something like that. Eloy, do you see the blue flame in the sky? Do you know what it is? I do not know what it is, but it's the first thing I saw when I awakened, and I've been curious about it ever since. Is that where we came from? It could be. It is spilling energy into this realm, and energy is needed for life. Let me think on it some more. Blue flame. I assume is the fracture. Although we aren't really anywhere close. And it must be really low. Now, we spent all the energy getting up here. Seems almost a shame not to do this. That being said, this also could be a lot of work. We'll keep an eye out for a red matchbox while we're at it. Wasn't too much. So you can just fly right to where it is. And so yeah, generally I would assume it is right here. But I'm not seeing it. I kind of feel like we'd already been over there, so I thought maybe it's lower. That too. Would make the most amount of sense. Is it in the tree? That would be my guess, is that it is straight hidden inside the tree. Let's go lower. I think you go lower here. So, and here's a whole bunch of extra puzzles that I would assume aren't connected to this area, but maybe they are. Yeah, let's do it. Exactly one symbol per light area. Okay. That means you can only do that so much. It also disconnects that from that. Blocks that from that. Blocks that from that. Blocks that. Making that go at least that far. from that. No two light areas have the same shape or size. What? Same shape and size? Well, I guess they can have different shapes but the same size. Yeah, it would have to be the case in this instance. Either way we go on this, that has to be black. This could go up here. This has to go this way. At least that far. This could go up here, but it couldn't go that way. Should probably just take a hint, but the hints themselves aren't likely to be very helpful. What's going to be irritating is you're going to have to actually look at all the shapes. That's got to be it. Yeah. That's definitely it. So you've got to contort the whole of the shapes into different forms. We can make some guesses if we wanted to, but I don't know if guessing really helps. If this went this way, it would still have to go that way and that way. Yep. So either here or here are the remaining options. If this went this way, still would have to go this way. So, yeah. So it either goes here or here. If this went this way, that wouldn't work. So it has to go that way. If this went that way, could possibly work. Why does it say I know? Yeah, because if I did that, then those two would be the same shape. Okay. I also know, I guess, then this is here and this is here as that. Because otherwise, actually I don't think I actually do know any of that. See, I don't think this is allowed. So yeah, I could go 1, 2. Yeah, it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blocking that off. And there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of possibilities, particularly down here. Because it does just seem like you could fill the rest of this with just black, like that. And fill a significant amount of this section. Oh yeah, well, even if that went here, that would only be 4, which makes that white, which makes that black. Does it? Which makes that white, apparently. Making that black, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just make shapes and see. That's the same. That's the same. Which probably means that's wrong. That's the same. Which probably means that's wrong. That's the same. Yeah, I don't know what other ships I can even make here. Double diamond puzzle there. That's way too much. Alright. Must equal the region. No two dark areas. Must be the same size. All dark regions have 4. Okay. We have 49, so we need to get rid of 20. And so I'd imagine 6, 7, 14. We want to do something that would block off. All the light regions have to be connected. Okay, well then, that alone tells me what to do. Find 4 regions. Find a way to make 4 regions that would not block off anything. Okay. $33, so we just need to get another 4 region in here somewhere. Find a way to squeeze something in. There we go. And it's weird how just being on the cliff made it much more urgent. It feel a lot more urgent to need to solve the puzzles. Alright, so if this is 4 and this is 4 and then this could connect. Nope. All dark regions have 5, not 4. Okay. So actually this should be fairly simple. We just need to find different ways into expanding. And these puzzles had nothing to do with the challenge area. Well, we did learn a lesson there. Just because the laser beam stops does not mean that you have reached the destination. That's going to put me into a better understanding of how to solve the all-seeing monoliths. Apparently I touched the hidden ring during that whole process too. It's weird, it does seem like you are losing some air where it didn't feel like you were before when you were gliding. I wouldn't put past the game that to have maybe had a glitch or maybe an update. Yeah, we saw the whole game freeze up for a second. It actually makes a lot more sense that the game would have a loss of momentum and you wouldn't just be able to fly everywhere. As far as I could tell, the marker was saying right about here. So we'll move forward and downward. See if we can find it. Could be slightly off, so left or right, but honestly don't think it's that off. We may just need to wander around. We see a red matchbox anywhere? No, it says it's almost certain it connects and lines up to something, but which way? So it's pointing a little bit further in this direction. So maybe just hidden. Every time we get somewhat close to the fourth area, the game, I think, is streaming that area is loading in. Stream loading the data, and that's causing freezes, lockups. Go. Just run around this whole place. Hidden in the trees with the shrinking bubble. We have a broken bridge. Well, not a broken bridge. Guess it is valid to ask if the all-seeing monolith cubes could be in a different area. I'd have to assume no. That once you've properly crossed over into another section, that is that. I thought I saw a ring puzzle, but now I don't see it. Interesting. Does that have to do with the bubble, and the way the bubble visually depicts things? It's definitely more in the center. Particularly with the shrinking bubble ability, you want to get the edge ones, because otherwise the bubble can't shrink. So running around the edges does just make more sense. Of course, running around the edges 45 times doesn't make sense. Eventually you have to come towards the center and look for those more interior ones. This is just another distraction. Also, we haven't even looked to see if we already have the 8,000 sparks needed. If we did have them, doing extra puzzles becomes even less relevant, less important. Yeah, I'm gonna have to either end this episode or take a bathroom break, and I think it would make more sense to end the episode. This bubble's just shrinking smaller and smaller. Look, it's halfway past it's completely past that spot. I was hoping the all-seeing monolith would have pointed us to more solutions. Just more stuff everywhere. Still, just your infinite number of puzzles to solve. I suppose if you had nothing better to do with the rest of your life, this would be the perfect game. Although this inherently highlights just the major disconnect between game developers and gamers, in that gamers do have at least a little bit more they can do with their lives, or they have a wide variety of games they can choose to play. PC gamers in particular have that luxury, Steam backlogs being a meme at this point. So yeah, this is definitely a game that has been built around the mentality of taking up a massive amount of the player's time, when that is just never really going to be the thing. Need green to line up with red. We need to get blue in the right place. Alright. Let's see. What can we move? It would move green and not that. But that won't work. The 1-to-1 ratios probably would never work. Yeah. Green either needs to be 3 away or 1 away with red. And it just isn't. So maybe we do something like that. One off. Half off. What if we were to do something like this? That was extra. An extra puzzle I didn't really need to solve. Where is the all-seeing monoliths cube? That's what we're looking for. Definitely here. Invisible brick. I guess that's extra too. Just doesn't matter. We want the all-seeing monolith cube. We're having a real hard time finding it. Maybe it is further up the mountain. Close to the edge of the 5th area. I feel like it was pointing specifically in this direction, but maybe. I guess so. Then the move would be to line up in this general direction and see if we can find anything. I still think it would have to be fairly high up, though. Everything is just pointing in this direction. There we go. Okay. So the problem now, I would say, is that the all-seeing monolith is not pointing at anything at all. So let's go back and look at it now. Are you all seeing monolith? You are here. And as far as I can tell, has either gotten tired of pointing towards things, or I found them all, or there's some secret reason why it's not pointing. Let's check. Doesn't say the all-seeing monolith has been done. We can collect a Mirror of Bliss. We can collect costume. We can look for the Pillar of Insight. That, I suppose, is the next thing we would do. Is it possible that Pillars of Insight are somehow connected to the all-seeing monoliths, and so it won't point? Or is it possible that it is just being a pain? Sometimes it points to things and sometimes it doesn't. It did seem like clicking on all-seeing monolith cubes, even at ones that have been solved, probably was triggering it to point at things. But then it also just kind of felt like it's just not really doing anything. Maybe there is a mystery to it. Okay, well, this puts us in a very good position for the next episode. Autumn Falls as one Pillar of Insight, and then we could just run around the whole area. There's a couple of lore. We're in pretty good shape with Lucent Waters, although there might be one lore worth going back and trying to find, but probably not worth it. And then that really is just going to leave Shady Wildwood, which is the area we spent probably the least amount of time in. As far as sparks, we're at like 5,000. We would still need to be at 8,000. Our mastery is going up to give us continued rewards. And then I could do customization, but I won't, and I don't think we've really unlocked anything worth really paying attention to. So that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.